And you join us live for tonight's nut-scratching event live at the Sheffield Crucible. And we've got a couple of great nut-scratchers going to be competing tonight. Sheffield's own Steel Nuts McCrimby. And who's he playing tonight?
Well, Josh, tonight he'll be playing McTaggart McFuckface, who will be the visiting reigning champion from Norway.
Ah. Any relation to Boaty McBoatface?
No, I think you're thinking of Stavanger.
Ah, probably, yes. Well, we're definitely going to have some high-quality nut scratching tonight.
Indeed we will.
Okay.
In the meantime, here's Squirrel Nutkin.
Yes, scratching.
With an announcement.
Yes.
Go for it, Squirrel.
A few weeks ago, we made the announcement that we were going to do another one of our legendary bad taste book readings, and seeing as we didn't get the ransom money, it's going to go ahead. We're going to do it now. We're going to do that reading, and you've brought it on yourself, so you've got nobody else to blame. So,
yes, here we go.
Right.
So, in time-honoured fashion, we shall be reading from our first book, which has sold at least 2 copies.
Yes,
I've got one here. He's got the other one there.
Yes. I bought mine on the Kindle, which is of course an alternative to the paper version of the book.
I bought this by stealing it from myself.
Yes. We have a good stack now of the paperbacks of all 3 of our books.
Yes.
Sitting here waiting for you to order them. You can order them, of course, direct from Amazon in either Kindle or paperback versions, or you can go to the www.offensiveghosts.com and you can order them direct from us via there. The advantage being we can scribble on your books, which Amazon will not let us do. They will not let us walk into their warehouses and start scribbling on books, and I really don't understand why. It's very
pathetic. It's PC gone mad.
It absolutely is. It's soul gone mad, isn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely. So order direct from us. We can sign it. We can personalise it for you. We can sign it with, if you want us to put an insult from End of Level Demon Morose in the book, we can do that for you as well. It's all good. Right, okay, so we're going to do a reading, and it is from Book 1, as this chap said a moment ago, and it's from Story 5, Chapter 5 from that book, and it's called Geeks Bearing Gifts, and we're going to read the first few pages for you.
Yes, in the correct order.
And if you don't behave yourselves, we might read more than a few pages.
Yes. It's taken from the original Inspector Morse program, which was called Geeks Bearing Gifts, which wasn't anywhere near as funny as this, although some people have even disputed that.
Yes.
So all I have to say is places, everybody, please. Crew. And standing by in 5 seconds. Shut up. 4.
Silence on the floor, please.
2. What comes after 2? 1. Go. Claudia munched another olive.
Good start. They're dead slow here, aren't they, pet?
Robbie Harris was slowly going red in the face. Even his patience had a limit. He pulled the remains of a paper napkin out of his mouth and picked an olive stone off the saucer that was on the tablecloth between them. Using the saucer as a frisbee, he glanced a blow on the neck of a passing waiter and in a very un-English manner made a complaint. "Oi, Beppo, where's our chips, like?"
"Aye, man, it's been like a fucking hour,"
added Claudia. "Out away and shite," replied the waiter. "It's a Greek restaurant, innit? We're running to the clock in the Acropolis."
"Well, I'm a multi-millionaire, like, and it's not good enough,"
snarled Claudia. Aye, man, reassured the waiter. "The chef's chucking up, and he's not working at full capacity, like." "And can I have another beer, like? I'm gasping, man," added Robbie.
The waiter, evidently an old hand, grabbed a beer off another customer and passed it to Robbie.
"Fucking cheers,"
said Robbie, and tried to do what Morose had advised, and necked it. He was doing okay till he met the dead fly halfway down. He then handed it back to the original owner, who drank the rest, fly and all. "That's what money can do for us now,"
observed Claudia. Aye, Pet. Well, at least the music's good.
All sounds the same to me.
Well, it's genuine Greek.
It's genuine George Michael.
Exactly.
Oh, by the way, Pet, that waiter, are you sure he's Greek? He didn't half sound like he's from Sunderland, like.
Aye, you're right,
said Robbie.
Watch your purse, then.
Suddenly a scream ripped through the stale air and 3 undercooks ran out of the kitchen, all of them shouting very un-Sunderland words and looking very afraid, followed by a waitress crying, "Dolifornia! Dolifornia!" "Anyone ordered Dolifornia and chips?"
asked Claudia. What's Dolifornia?
asked Robbie, grabbing Beppo as he ran after his staff.
Oh man, it's murder,
shouted Beppo back at him.
Well, it's hard to follow, but what's it mean?
Beppo grabbed him by the shoulders.
It means, you daft Geordie shite, that the head chef's position is now vacant. How come has he quit? Permanently from the planet. What, you mean he's fucking dead, like? Aye, man. So how long do we have to wait for our fucking chips in California? Oh, where, you soft turd? Where's the pigs when you need 'em? Exactly, I don't know why I pay me council tax. Oi, hang on. I'm a copper. Then do something.
Robbie produced his warrant card and addressed the whole restaurant.
Hands up! You're all under arrest.
As Robbie walked off towards the kitchen, Claudia sighed as she sat alone in a restaurant. She looked at her glass of wine and shared her thoughts with us. "Have you noticed there seems to be an awful lot of Geordies moving into Oxford lately? Even the Greeks are shite."
The wine glass said nothing. Morose had spent the evening getting ready. He had managed to find a bar of soap in Harris's bathroom and a razor. He couldn't find any shaving foam, but he did find a can of fly spray. In his suitcase, his Tesco bags, he found his least offensive suit. It was a bit old and didn't really fit him anymore, and God alone knew what happened to the helmet, but it would do. He wondered how long it had been since he had last worn this suit. Just before his promotion, he thought. It would need a belt. He could only now get the fly halfway up, and it would be pointless going through Robbie's wardrobe. He had more chance of the wardrobe fitting him than any of Robbie's suits. As he debated the impossible task of fastening the jacket, he noticed Emily standing in the doorway.
"How long have you been there?"
he asked.
"Oh, long enough,"
she replied.
"Who did your mother say I was meeting tonight?" "Auntie Paula. She's Dad's older sister." I'm surprised your mother organised a blind date for me with a relative. She never seemed to like me that much." No, Auntie Paula. I think she's hoping Auntie Paula won't come to Oxford again after meeting you." "Where are we meeting?" "Oh, she said she's reserved you a table at Tramps. She said she thought it would be just right for you two. 8 o'clock. "I don't know that one,"
Morose thought out loud.
"Well, it is new, over at the end of Milligan Way, where the dog food factory used to be." Fair enough,"
muttered Morose out loud. Morose got out of the taxi on Seacombe Drive. He paid the fare and the obligatory £35 chucking up fine.
"I'd get some bleach on that straight away if I was you,"
he offered by way of a tip. He turned the corner into Milligan Way to find a lady waiting and looking puzzled at the waste ground where the dog food factory used to be. This was Tramps. The handwritten sign said so. "This was Tramps,"
the sign read.
"Said so." Morose eyed Auntie Paula up and down.
"Paula, right?"
"Evening, officer. I'm not on the game now. I'm waiting for a date."
"I am your date, Morose."
"No, I always look like... Oh, you mean that's your name?"
On the waste ground stood a couple of tramps. One approached them. "You booked a table or what?"
Yes,"
began Paula. "This one's all right,"
snarled the tramp without pausing, and produced a table from under a corrugated iron sheet.
"It's got nearly 4 legs, and in about half an hour the dogs will start fighting. You'll have an unspoilt view of that, seeing this is an industrial wasteland and all that cack." Paula grimaced.
"The dogs?"
"Yeah, we think Mangy, that's the big grey one. Well, you can see where he would be grey. We think he's a bit rabid. He usually likes to rip the head off another dog most nights, and I think you're in luck tonight. He's got that distracted look about him.
Morose was still taking in the locale.
Yes, lovely.
The maitre d' hawked up something vividly green. It landed near the centre of the table and sat looking like a melted wax off a candle.
Can I get you something?
An ambulance on standby?
Suggested Paula. To drink, I meant.
All right, what have you got?
Well, can I recommend the meths? We've just had a fresh batch in. Is it chilled?
Asked Morose.
Connoisseur, eh? Well, we have just got a particularly violent cider in, if I can tempt you with that.
Both nodded.
We'll give it a try.
The maitre d' bowed his head and, puffing his cheeks, ripped one out.
There's an aperitif to be getting on with. Biscuits.
Noted Morose.
Now pass on the cheese. We already have.
The tramp waddled over to the gathering of his staff and snatched a bottle off the nearest man to him. His colleague snatched it back. There was a brief scuffle, a knee in the face, and the maitre d' walked back, wiping the uncorked house poison with his scarf.
Yeah.
He snarled.
Glasses?
Asked Paula. I can see well enough, love.
No, I mean glasses to drink from.
You fucking what?
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, whatever. Your meal will be with you in about 10 minutes.
Even Morose had his limits.
But we've not ordered anything yet.
The tramp glared.
You do want to eat, right?
Yes.
Well then, we'll have something with you in about 10 minutes.
He went to walk away, but Paula snapped her fingers and said,
Oi, Garcon,
he returned with a,
Fucking what?
can we see the menu?
the tramp turned to Morose,
Is she always like this? No idea.
came the honest reply.
It's a blind date. She's not changed much in the last 10 minutes. Wait here.
He walked behind the alleyway wall. There was a loud clang and some ominous rumbling, and he re-emerged pushing a large waste disposal bin. With a flourish, he threw back the top. A few clouds of flies zoomed out.
There. You can have anything you likes except the black rat. I'm having that later.
Paula looked shocked.
My sister said this place had 4 Michelin stars.
The tramp shook his head.
No. Scars, love. Michelin scars. I keep getting tyre marks on me when I try and do the bin lorries.
You keep tyres?
Oh, only for keeping the wolves away.
You have wolves?
He looked serious.
This, and I'd advise you to keep it quiet, is the main problem area for wolves in Oxford. That shithouse Bill Oddie was around just the other day trying to shoot them.
Filming them, you mean?
No. Proper gun and all that. He's moved on from badgers. You know, he's a right bastard when he's had one of Toby's ciders.
Fucking totter.
Shouted Toby from inside the bin. Well, are you picking something or what?
Asked the maitre d'.
I think, or what?
Suggested Paula, ignoring the fact that Morose was already rooting round in the trolley bin. He had found a particularly interesting looking something. It looked like his hand was slapped away by Toby, who was now on his meal break and wanted first choice. The maitre d' tried to persuade her to think again. There's some choice stuff in there, love. A Greek restaurant nearby has closed early due to some fucking brilliant violence, and we were first on the scene. We got the bin away while the staff were all screaming.
Toby smiled.
Some Geordie twat gave chase, but he wasn't having my bin.
Paula had reached her level.
No thanks.
Ah, fucking time waster.
Morose had just got into a fight with Toby over the fish souffle remains. Morose wanted to check what was left of it. So did Toby. Toby bit Morose. Morose backed off, shocked, and walked backward out of the trolley bin, folding over a very heavy iron pan as he did.
I need to go.
Hurried Paula. Where's the bogs?
Asked Morose.
Wherever you want,
replied the head tramp.
Right, well, I think then we'll just piss off.
Quipped Morose.
Can I book a table for Saturday? Yeah, we'll nail this one up when we finish breaking it over the dogs' heads later.
Cheers.
Up yours. Taxi!
Bundling Auntie Paula into the boot of the taxi, Morose intended to walk home, but was stopped after 20 yards and just before torching a litter bin by Constable Gone Mad.
What is it this time, you pathetic turd?
Asked Morose of his esteemed colleague.
Actually, sir, you're needed.
Oh, what now?
Murder, sir. Or to be more precise,
California. There we
That'll
are.
do, yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Sod the rest of it.
So yes, so that's what we're doing for you for tonight. So
Yes, so you regret it.
yes, it's your own fault. I told you that before. So we have got copies of. Oh God, it's here somewhere. I've probably knackered the microphone, but there we go. We've got copies of the books ready to be signed, sitting here, back on the lash with Inspector Morose. There it is. It's all
Yes,
good.
indeedy, folks.
Yes,
And over here,
okay.
folks, we have an absolute pile of these things.
Yes, and we have Howard's arse there going past the camera as well. It's all,
you very much
it's all
indeed.
nearly good. There's a Being Morose. There's a Being Morose sitting
Yes,
there.
yes,
And we
there's a pile of them.
also have some back on the lashes, do we?
Yes, we do indeed.
We
sir.
do
Over
indeed
here.
have some back on the lashes.
Remove the window pane.
And they are just sitting here waiting to be signed. So
Yes.
go on to
Can you
Offensive
resist?
Ghosts. He thinks they're a large white cat in a Bond film. Well, go on to offensiveghosts.com, place your orders. Let us know what you want, if you want anything signed on it in particular, whatever you want, and we can do you a better deal than Amazon can. How about that?
That's a great idea, thanks.
Okay. And that's all you're worth for tonight, so that's
Yes.
all we're giving you.
Yes.
So, okay.
So there you go.
Have a terrible evening, and
Deal
we'll
with
speak
it.
to you soon.
Yes. Bye.
Ta-ta.